Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is November, and in this video I'm going to do my salvation story, how I got saved, how I forgave my abusers, how I drifted away to sin and into righteousness. I am going to be doing a mild, brief mentioning of spiritual abuse, SA, COCSA, and suicide attempts, but nothing will be in detail. Except the spiritual abuse is probably the one that will be in the most detail, and the others will just be pretty vague. Because I don't want to trauma dump and be like, oh, sorry me, look at all this crap I've been through, feel sorry for me. I don't want to be like that. So I'm going to basically just go into detail about the spiritual abuse because I feel like that's necessary why I turned away from God. So I am almost 25. Well, no, not really. Anyways, I am 24. I have been saved since I got saved, and then I went away, and then I got saved again. So let's just start off. So the first thing is, I grew up Christian. It was just me and my mom and my dad. My parents got divorced when I was really young. I had split custody with them, and I grew up as a Christian, but I never really got it. Like, it never really clicked. Like, yeah, we went to church and stuff like that with my mom, but nothing ever clicked that said, hey, this is my faith, okay? And then I think another one is my mom. What would happen is, she was very abusive growing up. She would lock me in a room with a Bible and nothing else except a mattress and a Bible and tell me to not come out when I was repent. I was like 12. Okay. And then also, I'm trying to think what else she did. She told me how I need to repent and, ask God for forgiveness, and which you do have to ask God for forgiveness and you do need to repent. But I do not think 12-year-old for not cleaning your room is a good reason to repent. Okay, so then if you don't know, I used to have another channel here. I still have it. I'm not even going to link it. But, I don't know. I don't really want to delete the videos. I probably should, because it's probably the Christian thing to do. I think it is. I think I'm going to delete those videos. But anyways, I had another channel on here where I did, not this channel, another YouTube channel, where I did, like, hateful videos. They were very, very hateful. They were at my abusers. They were at my mom. They were at my mom's family. It just wasn't a Christian image to be portraying. Anyway, so I talked about all my, like, life story and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'll ever really tell you guys, like, oh, all my mental illnesses. Because I feel like, first of all, it shouldn't define me. Because I've spent my whole life getting defined by mental illness. It shouldn't define me. I don't want it to define me. Second of all, I can only advocate so much, and there's only so much energy. Right now, I am a full-time caregiver for my G-mom. God mom, not my other mom. I call her G-mom. I'm also starting a job on fact-checking. Hopefully, if I pass the second test I had to take. The first one was harder, and I passed that one. Then I took an easier test, I thought. Going off script, November. Anyways, I do a lot, and I do not have time to sit around and think about my mental illness anymore. So, but the point is, I had this other channel where I basically trauma dumped, okay? And I don't want to trauma dump anymore. But anyways, when I was 14, I was put into a psychiatric hospital after a bunch of other stays. And I'm not even going to mention the name because I feel like I shouldn't. I don't want to slander. Not that I was slandering, because everything I say is true and it was backed up by truth. And I will stand by what I said. I just don't think it needs to be on the internet for everybody to see. So, I was put in there, and when I walked into the place, I had a little bit of faith left, and I prayed to God that it would help me, because the other mental hospitals weren't helping, and I thought the long-term place would help, and it did not. I got SA and COCSA in there, and I completely lost my faith. I'm like, I'm done. If God can let this happen to innocent children, to be in this horror, then I'm done. I'm out. So I didn't do anything. But anyway, so then I became atheist. I got out of the hospital. Hold on. Yeah, so my stupid phone. Okay, so I was atheist, and then my dad died. I know this seems like a trauma dumping video. I'm really not trying to make it a trauma dumping, I'm sorry video. This is just my story. So, my dad died, and I was still atheist. I have to look up atheist support groups because I was so, like, against religion. And I thought it was stupid. Not anymore, but I thought it was. It's like, how could some, have complete control. Anyways. So then in high school, my freshman year of high school, I went to one church, don't want to mention the name, but it was a Methodist church, to socialize. I won friends, and I actually ended up going to a church youth conference here in Atlanta, and I got saved there. Okay, so I got saved at the youth conference, and then I started reading my Bible more, I started journaling more, I started praying for my abusers more, and I became better. I prayed for my enemies. And then I went off to college, and I had sexual immorality, lying, dishonesty, not very good integrity, and I don't feel like going into details, but I'll just leave it as that. And my friend invited me to the Church of Christ, which is where she went to church, and I decided to go from college, and I decided to go there as my New Year's resolution. And I got kind of resaved, and I don't know if I was really against God, I was just kind of having a hard time with God. But then I thought I was doing the right thing by outing my abusers and family. And then I thought that was the Christian thing to do. Like, you're supposed to speak the truth. You're supposed to, stand firm in your convictions and stuff like that. So I thought I was doing a good job by doing that. But then I realized I need to pray more than I need to speak on YouTube or on TikTok or on Facebook or anything like that. I need to be praying more than I can believe, more than I can do. So, I forgave my abusers at the hospital and other people in my past. I forgave my mom, But it doesn't mean I have to have a relationship with her. I've had no contact with her. I have not seen her in almost 3 years. And she lives like 15 minutes away. Okay? And I just pray for her. I try to pray for her that God will soften her heart and she'll come back and say, November, I do want you in my life. I do want a relationship with you, and I'm willing to do my part. So, ever since then, I've tried to be more kinder, more patient, and this has been the past, 3 months, just with the whole stuff with the mental hospital, and bashing the therapist, and the unit director, and my mom, and her family, and, other patients there. I didn't use patients' real names, but you know what I mean. That's not the Christian thing to do. So then, ever since then, I've been kinder and more patient, and trying to give grace where I can. Because God's given me so much grace, and He's kept me here after, I can't even tell you how many suicide attempts, over 30 at least. I'm not keeping track. And again, I don't want to trauma dump, but yeah. There's got to be a reason I'm here, and it's bigger than bashing a mental hospital. It's bigger than having hate in my heart towards my family. It's bigger than all that, and it's just being a good Christian and being a good person. There's this song I love, 2 of my favorite 3, 4 of my favorite worship songs. By Our Love, but for King and Country. It says, they will know we are Christians by our love. Reckless Love. I forget who it's by, but it goes, I didn't deserve it, I don't earn it, but you gave my breath to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. And then Oceans, where feet may fall, Spirit lead me. Spirit lead me. I can't sing, but Spirit lead me, trust without border. You guys can look them up. Okay, that's today's video. I wanted to say, you can recover. God is a forgiving God, and I hope you use this video, again, not to feel sorry for me, but use this video as kind of like, not that I'm inspiring, but as a, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can sit here and come back to God after all my sin and all my hate in my heart, then you can do it too. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to do some more videos that aren't as serious next. The next video I'm going to film right after this one and showing you guys all the shorts I got at the thrift store. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe. I'd love to have you. But please know I do not do these kind of serious videos that often. I completely revamped my channel. I'm going to delete the old channel. It's going to be more lighthearted. Balling on a budget, no. That's where it's at. Alright, bye guys.